But the thing, we spawned a
we talk
real,
about penises a lot.
We do. I mean,
we had a scientific conversation about that. Like we were talking about the logistics, what it would take.
Are we just coping? I kind of feel like we're just coping.
Welcome to In Moderation,
the show where we give you a moderate dose of info, sarcasm, and we already know we're not approved.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
We're going to start right here. Love it. Go, go.
Back to In Moderation.
You're better introducing than we are.
The show where you get a moderate dose of sarcasm, advice, and we already know we're not approved.
Fucker's got a soundboard.
You know it's true because it had an echo.
I've got lights too. If anybody says something I don't like, call them out for it.
It looks like, police lights is a red.
Yes, that will go over well on Spotify.
Well, can't you get like a spectrograph thing? Have you ever seen those things where like people will put like a Kiss song through a visualizer and they'll find two things that look like devil horns and they'll say, there he is.
Yeah. I don't think
that's proof.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, now I have to look at that when I'm editing this episode, see what it looks like.
They do the craziest, like, they'll have like, a woman set up at like a high school, like a military recruiter with a bunch of cans of Monster. Okay,
I remember the Monster. I was actually gonna say I remember the Monster lady talking about how Monster is the devil, like it's calls to the devil. But I don't remember like anything else about it.
I am unaware of this.
Oh, you haven't seen? Yeah, no, she's standing there. She's like, Monster. And there's like a little symbol, and they're like, this symbol looks like this symbol, which means the devil. Like,
okay.
And there's 3 scratch marks. And if you do 3 times 2, if you have a second Monster, which everyone always has 2, that 1 is half serving of Monster.
I love those videos 6. Where they just put random words, random numbers together. Like they add things up and then you subtract 2 and you add 7 and then you have 666. I'm like, you just fucking put numbers together to get like what? Oh, I love
Congratulations, you mathed.
If 1 + 1 = 2, I'll be leaving this conversation now. Hold on, let's put it through the calculator. Fate has ordained that here we are.
Bye, Mike.
Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah, it was nice having you.
I can't do math. The only math I can do is adding the number of ingredients on the back of a nutrition label. That's the only
and if it's more than 50, 50 brain cell challenge.
Oh, the 50 brain cell challenge. That's fucking great. What, Josh or whatever his name is? I don't remember. But there's
Josh.
It's Jeff or Josh. Yeah. I don't remember. But
it's
like,
something.
If you, for every ingredient, you lose a brain cell. And you have 50 of them. And I'm just like, oh man, this spice blend's gonna fucking ruin me right now. This is gonna be so bad.
Like, tell me you don't spice your food without telling me you don't spice your food.
Oh God, I love this. Because you gotta make it simple, man. And those simple things are great. Oh, so I went on recently, I went on, because it's out now. Go check it out. I went on A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, like the fucking mythical
no way.
podcast. Yeah, it was fun. And so I was like, we were talking about fad diets and I was like, let's make up our own fad diet. And I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Okay. Hear me out here. The people who listen on that one probably already know, but whatever. The gorilla diet. Hear me out. Okay. So listen,
I'm already hating this because it's going to involve bananas.
No, it's really not actually going to involve bananas.
I don't think they really eat bananas.
Yeah. Listen, here's the thing. Okay. Because people want simple, right? You need like simple. Eat like gorilla, be like gorilla. That's simple. Does it make sense? No, but that doesn't matter. It's very simple and we could get our point across there. Now, here the issue is gorillas eat about 40 to 50 pounds of vegetation a day. So I found a workaround around that. Here's what we do. You ready? Okay. We lie. We just straight up lie about what they eat. People aren't going to check on it. We can say they eat whatever. Now we could go a little bit more towards the truth, and because they eat mostly like vegetables, so you're like, oh yeah, all vegetables are good. And they eat fruit. Here's the thing. Yeah, I was just going to say they eat fruit and they eat insects, but we could just say they eat protein, and then you just eat whatever protein you want, and then you eat vegetables, fruits, and protein. And people will lose weight eating that, right? Like that if you just cut out everything else. But we say we'll just leave the
information that gorillas can extract proteins from plants better than us. We'll just put that aside.
Oh no, no. We don't talk about that. We just you eat like gorilla, be like gorilla, and also there's the whole like 100 humans versus gorilla thing going on. We need to capitalize on it. I like
yes. If you're the gorilla, you're going to beat the 100 people.
Right, exactly. Eat like gorilla, beat 100 people off.
Damn straight.
No, okay. And then that one or the gladiator diet, which is the same thing, but you eat like gladiators. Now, gladiators are just like poor peasants, so they just got like fucking gruel and shit. They got like barley. They ate a lot of barley because it was cheap, right? So, people would just be eating a lot of that, but they would still lose weight eating that. But you want to eat like a gladiator. That's like fucking. Masculine or some shit. So I think you gotta have
like the short sword that you're like stabbing into your whatever.
Usually barley.
And just
speaking of
vegetables,
stabbing at your whatever. When you say eat like gorilla, be like gorilla, how much do I have to be like gorilla? Like, do I also have to masturbate at the zoo, or can I skip that part of it?
I mean,
I'm not going to shame you if you're into that.
Well, I still stick with do what works for you. We still add that in there, right? We got to leave out the fact that gorillas, have a penis that's 1.5 inches long. That's a real fact. Look it up. I'm not joking about that. We don't want people to like, oh, I'm going to be like that, right? Because you think gorilla like super hung. No, it's not. It's a big animal, small penis. Like that's because here's the thing. Humans like compared to other animals actually have like larger penises than we should. And that is because of over thousands of years of evolution. Women have chosen men with larger penises, which is why when women say size doesn't matter, I'm like, I don't know. Like thousands of years of evolution kind of pointing the other direction. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
what kind of podcast do we do here? Are we talking about food?
If any gorillas are listening, we just want you to know that you are valuable as you are. I know we're playing.
We don't shame you for your size.
It's how you use it.
Cincinnati, Philadelphia, New York. This goes out to every zoo.
Well, personally, I'm on board with the gladiator diet because the gorilla instantly makes me think banana and fuck bananas.
I don't even really think of bananas. Well, I guess with monkey, but I don't know. I don't really think of banana with gorilla.
I don't know. But like, dude, so on my birthday stream last week, I finally did I tried attempting to eat a banana, which went so bad.
Oh, no.
Like, it went actually worse than I thought it would. I thought I'd be able to actually masticate a little bit, maybe swallow some. No, the instant it went into my mouth, I was just like, oh!
They are an odd texture. I'll give you that. I don't think you're weird for that.
Everybody that watched it was like, oh, shit, Rob really doesn't like bananas. I believe it now.
Do you guys remember that a year ago, I lost a filling on this show because I bought Banana Laffy Taffy as a bit to piss you off specifically.
That was like the first time you came on, wasn't it? That was,
I think, the first time I had come on here, and I lost a filling, and I didn't say anything during the show because I'm like, I don't know if this is going to derail the show. And then, of course, you had me on a week and a half ago, and the first thing I said was Dave Asprey's penis stem cells. Filling be damned. But the thing, we spawned a
we talk about penises a lot.
We do.
We had a scientific conversation about that. Like we were talking about the logistics, what it would take.
Are we just coping? I kind of feel like we're just coping.
We're people who...
Or maybe we're just comfortable with ourselves and our bodies.
Let's go with that over we're coping. Whether it doesn't matter what the answer is. I say we go with that when people ask.
The way that I've always phrased it is that a good doctor will never shy away from saying the terms. They'll just say it.
Yeah.
They just drop it in.
And we're basically doctors.
Exactly.
Imagine if your doctor was insinuating, is like, so we found something in your, in my water regions. Just like, mining, holding
the thing
balls
down there,
just say it, doc. We found a lump in your
gets the banana out and starts, your
there may be cancer
I feel like
in your
that's a show coming to Fox soon where there's like a doctor who's just afraid to say these sort of things but always finds himself in this situation, and that's the whole show.
Okay. So I'm mutuals with Jessie Schramm, who is she plays one of the doctors on Chicago Med. I'm so going to pitch this to her. I'm going to pitch this to her so she can pitch it to the writers and have like a guest doctor come on that's afraid to
I don't think you could revolve a whole show around it, but you could absolutely have a character.
A guest.
Like a Dr. Hartman from like, what you call it, Family Guy. Like that kind of reoccurring character that does stupid, wacky shit. You could have that character. I think it would do very well.
That would be amazing.
Like every patient always ends up with something with their butthole or their genitals or whatever, and like he's just like he just can't say. Like I feel like that would fucking kill. That would kill. And you could have it on Fox because like they don't have to like swear or anything like that. It just shows them really uncomfortable. I think we got something here.
Perfect.
This is going to be the next 2.5.
That's the entire podcast. That's it. We just wanted to
don't be your
talk
worst.
about penises and come up with a good idea for a show.
What else do you need?
Always wash your.
Always watch
pull back and.
Make sure to get under the.
So this was originally going to be just me and Liam, but then I brought Mike in because I decided it's men's mental health month. It's mental health month. I mean,
and who the fuck do you know is more depressed and screwed up than Mike needs a plan?
I didn't say it. I did not say it.
Oh, I said it. That's why you brought me here to say it.
But I know, like you and I have definitely been going through a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah. Yep.
Liam has a kid, so he's going to be depressed for the next 18 years. But
I consider myself very blessed. Like I have a lot of things going on, but things are still going overall very well. And I've never actually really like dealt with significant issues. I've gone to therapy and stuff because like everybody should do that and work through some shit. But I've never had like actual really significant mental health issues. So I always feel like I just don't. I never really know. I sympathize, but I can't empathize as much, as I'd like to be able to. So I just kind of like. I try and let the door open for other people to give their stories because I'm like I don't really have a whole lot.
But I know actually the majority of our listeners identify as female, but like even for those people, the importance of talking about men's mental health. There's the trend going around on TikTok. I don't know if you guys have definitely seen it, where there's some women that are making fun of men's mental health.
Yeah, that's everywhere right now.
It'll say like, let's have a moment of silence for all the men that are
and then they're jamming out to some rock stuff and like I get it. We hate men. I get it. But that is just adding to the problem. Yeah. Because we need men to feel comfortable with the ability to open up. And if you're making fun of them, they're not going to.
Yeah.
Luckily, I mean, I've only seen these videos, these incredibly offensive videos, in the context of other people reacting to them. Yeah. So I actually haven't seen them organically. So, I mean, that tells me that the message of positivity and like, no, everybody here matters is spreading more than the originals.
Or just that you're on the right side of social media.
Or that, I might just be.
Well, I mean, that main woman who did it, she got her account like deleted, or she deleted
her account,
everything.
Like, she got probably bullied off the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like, at least the reaction was swift and harsh as kind of as it called for, really.
Because it's definitely a problem that men are brought up in the environment that they're not allowed to talk about things, not allowed to seek help.
Yep.
And
I mean, I told that story about
them for it, then
I told that story about like, a friend of mine who died, and I was crying, and like his dad.
Oh yes,
his dad was like, man up. Like at his son's funeral. Ooh. Like I was crying, and I was like, shit. Like at the time I kind of felt shame, but like later I was like, you're telling people not to cry at your son's funeral. If it's not okay to cry, then I don't know when it would be acceptable, right? Like, so it's definitely still around.
Crazy.
It might have just been a really strange coping mechanism.
Man, it was an older guy. Like I think maybe just still like, it's still around today, but like, several decades ago was even worse.
Yeah, I think it's getting even more polarizing today. We have all the social media pushing the alpha bro mentality, the Andrew Tates of the world,
I think that though, right? That's a reaction to people opening up, right? Like, don't you think that in at least some way, that's like men are becoming more comfortable, and then you have people who just are so against that you need to create this like super alpha bro. So I feel like that's a reaction to it, but maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's reaction or not, it's definitely out there and definitely getting pushed on young, impressionable men.
Yeah.
And I'll say real quick, I don't know if this offers any solace or background to anybody who may think that, well, if I just had the opportunity to speak about this when I was younger, perhaps it would have been easier. And they're escaping that sort of, red pill thought experiment. I grew up in an environment and a community where that was fine to talk about these things. And I still didn't tell anybody when I got close. Even if you come up in an environment where that is more talked about or more accepted or what have you, it can still be extremely difficult to talk about. So, like, if anybody's feeling like they're weird or wrong or why can't I do this for myself, it's a tough subject to breach.
Yeah. Yeah. I was brought up in a more traditional conservative environment. Um, my dad is your typical older, not quite as bad as from Liam's story, but still the typical older conservative, be a man type. And then of course I'm in Alberta, so we're heavily on the you need to be a man, go hunting, don't ask for directions.
Mhm.
And you can see it affecting a lot of the young people, unfortunately. And it's really unfortunate because by the time we're done this podcast, how many men will have committed suicide?
Noel's been putting some good videos up lately.
Right, I was just going to tell you.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I think when you're younger, you are just more impressionable, right? I mean, for better or for worse. And I think it's very difficult to realize these things until you're older. I think as we get a lot of these stories, right, where you're like people in their 40s and 50s, like I didn't realize it when I was a teenager or my 20s until later on. So it's once they kind of fall into that, it's tough to kind of like, hey, try and reach them afterwards, because then they just kind of feel like they need to just be a man and harden up or whatever, So it's I don't know. It's really tough to reach people at that age, especially because you feel, especially, in your 20s, you feel sure about everything. I was talking about this earlier today. When you're in your 20s, you just feel so sure about things. You're like, no, I know. And then you get older, you're like, oh shit, I did know. And sometimes it's something like this that can really fuck you over later on.
I've mentioned before, one of my favorite feedbacks I get are from young men who are looking for role models, and they come across my stuff and they're like, this is what I needed. Like you're not pushing that that toxic masculinity. And let's define that quickly. It's okay to be masculine. There's a difference between toxic masculinity and masculinity. You can be a man without being a huge dick about it. Had to throw the penis in there. I mean, the dangly thing. You had to throw,
shit.
Who's a good example of that? Scotty, of the very
Good
untoxic masculinity. It's like that's what it's to the point where like he's got the image, and he's aware of this too. Like he's said this to me, and I'm sure he said this to you guys too, where he's like, I look like I would be one of those, gun-toting, harassing people from my truck conservatives. So people are surprised when he's not. Him and I just went up against a homophobe a couple of days ago in his comments, who was talking all sorts of shit. It was ridiculous, but he was like surprised that Scotty wasn't also homophobic.
Oh, jeez.
I remember one of his first videos where that blew up. He did a Happy Pride Month, and he's like Happy Pride Month, and he ate a cupcake that was like rainbow, and people were fucking furious, because they thought he was more on more of the toxic.
A rainbow? What?
Yeah,
get out of here!
I think
not on my racism app.
Yeah, it does help. I think though, because people see him and they kind of expect that, but then when it's the reverse, they're like, oh, okay. So like, there's somebody like this. I think that guy. I think that does help, at least for some people, right?
Yeah.
Because you expect to see people who are more, I don't know, open-minded, liberal, whatever it is, look a certain way. When you see someone on the other side, you're like, hey, everyone is okay with other people being other people. That's cool.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when frickin' you guys had your January 6th insurrection and people thought I was from QAnon.
Oh.
God,
yeah.
QAnon.
I legit had people coming into my comments, and then they thought I was QAnon, whether they were coming into my comments to like follow me or whatever because of that, or there were people that like straight up were like, I can't listen to you because you're this toxic masculine, blah blah blah, and I'm like,
the guy with the Viking hat he's talking about. Remember the guy with the Viking hat and the face paint? He went to jail for a couple of years. He was like a main character of the insurrection.
The QAnon shaman.
That guy.
Whatever.
The QAnon shaman. Yeah, that's who it was. That just clicked. I'm like, yeah, the beard. Yep. Okay, so that's why they were coming at you for it. They're like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
You're the guy.
I also had my head shaved at that time. So of course the whole skinhead thing. And which is hilarious because the reason I had shaved my head was for cancer.
Cancer,
but they just assumed
white supremacy,
because of the way I looked.
To be a white
and to be a skinhead, yes.
You knock two birds out with one stone.
Cancer and fascism, same disease.
They go.
My
so
hair's only allowed to go to white children.
Can you imagine growing out your hair for one of those donation things, and you give it to them with the stipulation that the kids have to be white?
Oh God!
Wow, thank you for this donation. You've been growing your hair and taking care of it for 5 years perfectly. You just make sure it goes on to a white kid's. Why is this like a very grown man?
If anybody listening is working in the cancer wig industry and you've had that happen, send us an email.
We would like to talk to you.
It's just like the baker who wouldn't bake for like the gay couple. I won't make wigs or wigs for people of color.
It's getting to the point where we're going to long for headlines like that. Remember when it was about a cake, not about?
But that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Is like I think the people who really pushed that and like helped him, right, and got him like legal help and whatnot, they were just trying to set a precedent. They didn't really care about they obviously don't care about like, a cake for a gay couple, but that gives them the precedent for the future to be like, well, now we can not give people of color, gay people, other things, these things, right? So it's really just about getting the legal framework in motion, saying like, well, according to court case 342, we didn't give a gay couple this, so let's not give them this as well. So it's all just, it's all planned out.
Yeah.
How does any small business owner have the freedom to racially or sexually discriminate in this economy?
I kind of feel like it's a plan to be like, just to get the homophobes on your side, maybe. Like, I don't know. You remember when Chick-fil-A was like, no gay people, and then people came out in droves to like support them because they were like, yeah, we also don't like those people doing those things. Like, I mean, it's a fucking wild tactic, but it appears to work.
That was a thing down there?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Chick-fil-A was like, no, we don't like
know about that. Or I maybe like heard about that in passing, but
they were donating to anti-gay charities, which how is that a thing? Can you have a charity that is against a thing?
In America.
The America Brothers.
You have a charity for anything, bro.
U.S. Something or other. I posted a comment on a video recently where I had said, most of you who are mad about, most of you who are supporting the ICE raids could not pass the U.S. citizenship test. Like, there's just not a shot you're going to pass it. And everyone's like, well, I don't have to because I live here. I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't know if I could pass it.
Yeah.
What are some of the, can I Google some of the questions and just ask and see like,
let's see if I can, could become a citizen.
The Canadian.
Yeah.
Googling the citizenship test right now. Let's see if I can actually pull this. Test your knowledge.
Yeah.
What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment?
The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, right? The First Amendment would be, wouldn't that be free speach?
Freedom of speech.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, 1 for 1.
You're already a better American than most.
I'm a citizen now.
That's it. Second question. Identify one branch or part of the government.
Judicial.
Judicial, legislative,
Yep.
and the other one.
And the other one. Yeah.
And the other one. If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president?
Would that be the vice president?
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney comes back in all
He's still becomes which president dies, Dick Cheney comes back and becomes
The
president.
president gets cycled out every 4 years, but the vice president is appointed for
Dick
life.
Cheney just sticks around, man. 200 years old. He's still going.
Henry Kissinger times 2.
Oh, God. Don't say that name.
Rob, can you like bleep that out in a way that you can still tell what I'm saying?
No, I don't want them to know. I want people to be confused.
I want his name to be profanity. How many justices are on the Supreme Court, Rob?
Oh,
Well, okay.
God.
When was the Constitution written?
Supreme Court.
Remember, he's Canadian.
They're 9?
No, what? I said, when was the Constitution written?
No, Mike asked about the Supreme Court.
Okay, I was like, wait, what?
Constitution was written in.
Which was written in 9 AD.
Just 9? Just fucking 9 BC or AD? This is very important.
You know, we like this guy's nerve. We'll let him pass on that one too.
Okay. The Constitution. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Rob, you'd get in, and I can almost guarantee you would have gotten in on name one section of the United States government. I'm almost certain that would be the one. So you'd be like,
Supreme Court justices are
fucking
there?
Democrats, fucking Republic. Nope, you already failed.
Enough
How
to
many Supreme Court
overturn.
justices is there?
9.
9? I did get that right.
That you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Oh,
You're
sweet.
The Constitution, I wouldn't have gotten this. 1787 is when the Constitution was written.
You and I
would-
both
Yeah, I would have
are
had no clue.
monkey brains would have said 1776, and we would have gotten sent.
Yeah,
right
we were
from-
like the year it founded that we also wrote. It was a busy year for
There was
Americans.
a lot going on. They wrote Star
What
Wars
about
that
what's
year.
the capital of the United States, Rob? What's the capital?
Oh, I know this. It's
You.
Surrey, BC.
Yes.
Yes, I'm in.
Man, great. Well, I'm probably not. I still probably wouldn't pass that. I'll
It's
just be a
official.
citizen
I
of something
am
else.
now an American citizen.
You're more of an
And
American
I'm a
than we
citizen
are.
of New Zealand. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to be a Kiwi.
Go from one country.
A Kiwi or a Hobbit, one or the other.
The United
You're too tall
States
to be a Hobbit.
and New Zealand are the 2 countries on the planet where you are allowed to run commercial advertisements for medications that are prescription only.
Oh, is New
One of
Zealand
2.
the other one?
It is the other one.
I should have picked a different one. I should have picked a different place. Now
So
I'm
you're
stuck
going,
with it.
you're still going to get boner pill ads over there.
Damn, I guess this
Blood
could be
pressure,
worse.
dementia, everything. You can solve
That
any of you
suddenly
want.
makes sense. Like I never see these medication commercials except for when my dad's watching like certain channels, and of course they're American channels, and
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh,
It's not legal there.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
regulations
There was-
as they should.
Bro, there was a fucking ad during the Super Bowl, the Bowl of Super. There was okay, no, Mike, you're thinking of a different one. You can talk about that one if you want to. I'm thinking of another one, okay? But you can go on to talk about the Ozempic bullshit if you want. I am talking about there was a stool softener specifically for people who are on opioids. For like, yes, it was for people who are constipated because they got opioids.
That's
And I'm
niching
like,
down.
that's such a fucking it's apparently so much not a niche that it can be aired during the Super Bowl and they can pay millions of dollars to advertise this. I'm like, we're so cooked, as the kids
Wow.
would say. We're so fucking cooked as a country.
Could you imagine you just pan over to the stands and it's a bunch of people who are completely out of their minds on opioids and they're constipated as hell.
And constipated, but not
for
so.
me, they hear
Yes.
me, they see me.
oh my god,
I couldn't believe. I was like, we're fucked. We're so fucked.
The United States imports
You guys are
80%.
something.
80% of the world's opium comes straight here to the United States.
I miss our Budweiser ads.
We have 2% of the population. 2% of the world's population, or a little bit less, like 1.5, something like that. 80% of the world's opium is coming here, and we've got at least 50%, if not more, of the world's drug commercials.
We've definitely got
That's
more.
impressive.
We
More.
definitely got a lot more.
It's like 75%, maybe 80%. We're importing a lot of 80% over here. And then
That's very impressive. I'm very proud. I'm not sure I want to be a citizen anymore.
Oh, it's too late.
Too bad. You're already in.
That's why we made the test so damn easy. We could snap you like a trap. You're not
the fact these immigrants want to be in our country is telling we should let them.
Well, they see our news and they want to come here. And I don't think we're tricking them over here.
Let's be honest. They're just trying to make their way up to Canada, but you guys stopped them. So...
America, land of the free, home of the stool softeners caused by opium. Let's go. Get in.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there was another commercial during the Super Bowl that really pissed me off.
Yeah, I know that one.
I'll talk about this one forever because this company has emailed me, 2 or 3 times now, trying to get me to sell their bullshit for them. They start off by saying some good stuff. Like, it's super difficult to lose weight. Yes, it is super difficult to lose weight. So many Americans are having trouble with it. Yes, we are. And there's a crooked pharmaceutical industry that is treating symptoms rather than causes. And it's keeping people sick and confused and scared. And at that point, I'm a little bit hard.
And hepped up on opiums.
And opiates can't shit for shit.
Ordering my stool softeners.
I'm plugged up like I just took a bunch of Metamucil and went for a 5K. And then they say, well, there's one solution here. And I'm thinking, well, they're going to talk about how, we should be making lifestyle. What are they about to sell us? Are they about to sell us like a pill that allows us to do these things consistently? No, they're selling GLP-1 medications.
Yep.
GLP-1 medications they're selling on this thing. And it's, well, with GLP-1s, you don't have to do any of this shit. You never have to look at a vegetable again. Fuck you. Just take our thing wherever you want to inject it. In your eyeballs, behind your ears, in your ass, wherever you want it. And
And it was really the pharmaceuticals bad. They are out to get you. Would you like to buy this product from us? It's like, what a fucking turnaround you just did.
But you can have our needle instead. And then they zoom in real close on the needle, and the needle's like, yeah, come on, guys. Give me a try. Don't worry about it.
Little googly eyes on it.
Everyone's like, I was kind of nervous about the needle, but then as soon as he started talking, he got cute.
Yeah, that was an interesting.
Let him in me.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
See, the only Super Bowl commercial I knew of was Seal's "Kiss from a Rose."
The Baja Blast "Kiss from a Rose." Liam, have you not seen this?
I don't know. I probably have, but I'm not sure what you're talking about.
You probably blocked it out because it's traumatic.
These young people, they're all on a boat hanging out, normal horror movie setup. And then somebody's like, look, over there on the rocks. And then they pan over, and it's a bunch of seals, including a seal with Seal's face on it, singing Kiss from a Rose, but like a Weird Al version about Baja Blast.
Wow, we've really hit late-stage capitalism, haven't we?
This is a recession indicator. Seal singing about Baja Blast. And that was the whole. And the thing is, they may have only played like 30 seconds, but you can look up a full 3-minute version.
Yeah, there's a full version of it,
start to finish, even with the bridge.
We've got Shaquille O'Neal's face on gummies and Seal singing as a seal about Baja Blast. We're doing great.
We got to get some Shaquille and Seal brand Baja Blast gummies.
Shaquille and Seal fucking go together real well.
Do.
I think we could.
They do. They do.
It feels really good.
I like that. I don't know what they're selling, but I'm buying.
I'm selling their partnership together. Like I go into a pitch room and I'll be taking.
Hear me out. They could sell tequila and call it Sequila.
Sequila.
I don't hate it, but it's a bit of a stretch. I feel like we got to workshop it.
We'll workshop it.
AI could never do this. This is how we know we're AI proof. There's no way an AI would spit this out. It's getting to maybe a couple of years ago.
Smart.
It's too smart.
AI would come up with something better.
Who knew that Idiocracy would be a documentary about how we can beat AI? We have to become as dumb as possible. That's how it.
Well, it sounds like the U.S. is on their way there.
We're doing great. Here, hold on. I'm about to sound as dumb as possible. Hey, everybody, have you tried drinking saturated fat and eating only steak? Are you on opiums and also haven't pooped in a while? Well, do I have a pill for you?
A lot of people have fit all of those bills.
By the way, if anybody's flirting with the idea of carnivore, just like say goodbye to pooping now. Part with that as you will. And that's your future.
A lot of people are probably excited about that. They're like, oh shit, I don't have to carve that time out of my day. Just keep going.
I'll just bank it for a week or two at a time. I'll take a suppository. I'll make a deposit. Oh, carnivore. Have any of you taken a bite into a stick of butter before?
Yes, for a video, and it was not good.
It's awful, isn't it? It's butter, deceptively very good. Anything you put it on, anything you mix it with, fantastic.
But this is the thing, like sugar, good, butter, good, mix it together, good, on their own, ugh.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not just gonna spoonfuls of sugar and biting into sticks of butter. Like, no, it's bad.
It's hydrophobic, so it coats the inside of your mouth, makes it waterproof, and it tastes like throw up all day. So you're just stuck with a throw up taste that you cannot wash out.
That's lovely.
And carnivores are doing this? Like, really?
For their health, though.
For their health, though. Okay.
Oh, if it's just for your health, yeah. Okay.
It's for their, obviously. Why else would they do?
But men's mental health month is...
Yeah, we got pretty off topic there.
Whatever we talk about, we're going to get off topic.
Yeah.
See, we can joke about it because we've been there, because we've experienced it. I think we're getting closer to a place where people are not so afraid to talk about this anymore. It's almost the norm to have had a situation where you've either experienced this or had thoughts about it. It feels like, and
I think for a lot of people though, it's just for different groups. There's still like the group it's hard to reach. They are just like, no, absolutely not talking about that at all.
Mm-hmm. There's always going to be outliers, and again, it's difficult to talk about it in the first place. But like I built my whole platform talking about feelings. I cried a bunch in videos that did very well, and I did not expect that. I also didn't expect that every comment that I'd receive from it would be super, super positive. For the most, you'd get every once in a while somebody would be like, "Well, he's soft," or "He's a weak," or whatever, and then every other comment responding to it would be like, "No, sorry, you haven't been able to talk about it like we have."
I will say that I love the fact that the combination of I look like this, I grew up outdoors, I've done all this stuff. So whenever I do get the you're not manly, you're soft stuff, which is very rare because people are inherently afraid to say that to somebody that looks like this. It was actually just recently I had somebody, of course, on one of my posts be like, "Oh, he's not a bodybuilder. He's not big. He's not tough. He's definitely not healthy," all this stuff. And I just get to reply with, "Okay, what have you done with your life? This is what I've done with my life. I've summited 3 mountains in a day. I've volunteered in the fucking Amazon, not the outside of the Amazon, in the middle of the Amazon. I've spent a third of my life camping. I've done it all. What are your achievements compared to mine?" And they have no response to that.
Mm-hmm. No, they can't handle it.
Yeah.
So I never get that conflict of identity because I basically look like somebody pretending to be a youth pastor.
It's interesting if they ever mention like hunting or fishing or whatever, because that's very typical, especially you hear women talk about if they're on a dating app, most men will have a picture of their kill when they're hunting, or they have their fishing picture holding up a fish. And it's like, these are my trophies. Look at how big of the fish I caught. Look at how big this deer is. Like, oh, that's cute. You still take pictures with your dead animals. Yeah, I stopped doing that when I was 8. I found out that I can do better stuff in life. And that's not to put down people who love hunting and stuff. Obviously, if you love hunting, you want to record your stuff for posterity, or not posterity, but like just to remember it. By all means. But if you're trying to use it against somebody else, like, no, other people have other experiences that they're going to value more than that. And that doesn't mean that their experiences are worse than yours.
The worst is like the trophy hunting where they like pay for an animal and they release it and they're like, I'm going to go chase it. Like, and it's usually some like endangered fucking animal too. I'm like, wow, you really just fucking Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's just embarrassing too. I
It's so weird.
wouldn't be able to tell anybody that I did something like that. It's what a coward.
Like, you know why we have, that's actually why we have teddy bears. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. We hunted them to extinction.
So, no, it was after Teddy Roosevelt. They gave him a bear tied up, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to shoot a bear tied up." And they're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "He's fucking tied up. Why would I? I'm not going to shoot him." Mm-hmm. And then a toy company heard that, and they made a teddy bear.
Oh,
and he hated it. Oh, never you call him Teddy in person. He fucking hated that shit. He was Theodore Roosevelt, motherfucker. But now we all call him Teddy. Later on,
the history of the teddy bear brought to you by In Moderation.
I enjoy listening and reading about Theodore Roosevelt. Interesting character. Anyway.
So Mike,
yeah.
Hey, you interested in opening up to what's been going on in your life lately? Let's inspire some people. Inspire some people to talk.
I've been in a bit of a funk lately. I really have. I've not been doing my podcast. I've not been doing live streams. I've not even been putting up as many videos. And
I know I've been bugging you to live stream.
Yeah. I haven't done much of anything in a while. I haven't had a whole lot to say. And I mean, historically speaking, and I don't think anybody would assume this about me unless I said it, but I consider the communications part of my job to be an occupational hazard, something that I have to do. It's a part that I need to get my point across and to help people. I don't particularly love being on camera. I don't think that I'm as concise as I'd like to be. I think I meander from time to time, but from time to time is generous. But it is just the necessary medium to get this by, and I'm saying all the things that I know I needed to hear when I was in much tougher situations. But I mean, you want me to tell you a quick story about when I started making videos here?
Sure.
Because this kind of lines up.
Unless Liam has to go.
Unless you got to go.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
All right.
So I started filming videos. It was May 25th, 2023, 2 years ago. And I had pored over what to talk about for weeks. I thought, well, is this going to be important enough to be my first video? Is this not going to be important enough that people won't want to come back? Not even considering for a second. No one's going to even see this. It doesn't matter. But I was filming these things, both one, to just talk a little bit about my journey in a manner that I hadn't before, but two, and perhaps more expediently, I was trying to leave a legacy that I was here. And, I was making videos for about a month or so, and then it came to pass that I'm like, I'm done. I'm out of here. It was like mid-June-ish. This was my second time that I'd been quite that close. And I'll get into a couple of details here, but nothing gets violent. I was standing on the side of a road. I've never told this story. Waiting for a truck to pass. Because I assumed, you know what? If the truck comes by, one, it'll be quick. Two, the person won't be responsible for it. Three, it'll all be insured. I mean, I will fuck him up for life, for sure. That's going to happen. But at least he's not going to prison. And I stood there for like 5 minutes. And this was a sort of a spur of the moment, but it had built up to a point where it's like that felt where it was. And I had a explosive blowout argument with somebody, and that's it. I'm done. And a truck never came by. 5 minutes on a very busy highway in New Jersey. No trucks, nothing. And I stepped back, tired, done. Then a Walmart truck went by. Like, if I had stepped back 10 seconds later or something like that, you guys wouldn't have seen me about 2 weeks later when I had that first video go viral where I'd taken my shirt off at the beach for the first time. One of the reasons I did that was because I'm like, well, I'm here still. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Why don't I try doing something I've not done before? And that got me 50,000 followers right off the bat. You guys ended up finding me. But had I just not had that split-second decision to be like, you know what, I almost want to stay here because I'd be mad at the people who would win if I wasn't. That's the reason that you guys know me, that I'm able to tell this story right now. And if anybody here that's listening right now is in a similar spot, just know that I couldn't have imagined any of this. Back, it was almost 2 years ago to the day here that I'd be doing what I'm doing here.
And you know what? I bet you there are people listening that at least resonate with that somehow.
Oh yeah.
They're like, would a truck really work? Is that going to work?
When you were talking about that, I was just thinking, like, for me, similar thing recently is that I have that train that's 2 blocks over that way. I try to edit it out whenever it comes by during the podcast, which is a pain in the ass. But if you're watching me live stream, you'll hear it go by. And there's just every once in a while, I think about, what if I just step in front of it, lay down on the track?
It's almost like what do they call it? An invasive thought, where we're not thinking, oh, how nice would it be? It comes to you.
Yeah.
Like if anybody here has ever been like at a theme park and a roller coaster gets close enough that if you reach through the fence, you could touch it.
Oh.
And you have a thought in your head of like, what if? But yeah, the immediate conscious thought is, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think we all have those sort of thoughts, just like, what would happen if, and then you have this extreme scenario, but immediately you're like, well, let's just not do that. But yeah, there's definitely a difference between that and then sitting there and planning it out and thinking about it, which,
is in the moment that you decide it almost does come along like something else tells you to go about it. Even if you spend all that time. The first time that I went about doing it, I packed all of my things into boxes with notes on everything. Here's where to send this, here, throw this out, don't let cops touch this, all that kind of stuff. And the only reason I didn't end up going through with it then was because I had a friend knock on my door that night. And because we never used to call, we just knock. Came in, we hung out for a little bit. She went to the bathroom. And when she came back, she noticed my door cracked open and saw all my stuff packed. And she was like, you moving? What's going on? And I broke down, and that 12-hour conversation saved my life there for a couple of years.
Yeah, I had that.
There's a lot of planning.
That it was, what was it, November or October? We were supposed to be doing a group roundtable podcast, and I didn't show. And I had taken down all my stuff. I'd taken down my social media. I'd taken down all my streaming setup. I'd cleaned my office. And it's crazy to look back at that and be like, wow, you were that close.
I was there for that. I believe James Capola was there.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Alex Allen was there, perhaps.
Yep. You, Alex, James. And of course,
Liam was not there yet because the rest of
Oh,
us.
that's right.
We spent a while talking because we were waiting for you to come back, and we were also waiting for Liam to be able to show up. And I think after like an hour, we finally broke, and we're like, all right, well, but we didn't expect it. We weren't thinking anything. Weren't thinking the worst. We weren't thinking that was the case because nothing had indicated it, but hardly does anything ever. And, then through mutual friends of ours, we tracked down your roommate and everything and checked on you because we're like, well, now this is weird.
Yeah, I remember we were sitting there we were like, well, let's see what we can do to try and just check in and make sure everything's okay. So then Alex went through and found your roommate through social media, and we were trying to get a beat on what was going on there.
Well, a big thank you to you guys.
And
also thank you, Alex, for doing that.
Yeah. Because we're like, he's all the way in Canada. We can't just drive up there. Dang, how the hell are we supposed to get up there? I was like, I'll drive over there. But like, that's that's a long way.
Quite a distance, but we'd do it if we needed to. I'd have to sneak across the border. I don't currently have a passport, but
right.
It's a long border.
And like you were talking about...
Well, you just get in line at the border and you're just like, I'm Canadian, eh, bud?
Yeah, right. Maple syrup. Ice hockey.
I have affordable health care. Oh, come on in. Why didn't you say that?
What's a copay? Oh, you're good. Yeah, go right ahead.
Copay. Don't like two people pay for something? Yeah, come on in.
Yeah. I think what you were talking about, Mike, with like your friend being there, and that's what we've talked before on this podcast, right? About how people just feel more isolated now, even though you might have thousands of people around you. You might be in an apartment complex with thousands of people. You don't know any of them. So you just feel more isolated. And you don't have that friend there to talk with you, to help, and that sort of thing. And that's what I think this, like, what this month people have been very open, like, hey, if you need help, like, I'm here, let's talk. I think that can help someone. And at least if nothing else, at least maybe that's something we get out of this.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, that's the majority of what I'm going through right there, is that feeling of loneliness, isolation. Yeah. I've mentioned it before. I grew up with social anxiety,
right,
which made it hard to make friends, hang out with friends. And then for the last 2 decades, I haven't had much in-person contact with people. Dating life is shit because I don't know how to flirt. I'm also scared of flirting. Even on the apps, I'm like, you're interesting, but I don't know how to message you. What do I say?
If ever I'd gotten a match, I would have said, sorry, I didn't mean to get in your way. Let me just see my way on out of here.
So Hal, moving on.
Sorry.
And yeah, it's just been fucking lonely.
Yeah. And then you go through a breakup and you don't have like those friends around you. That makes it worse. And it's right.
Yeah.
And we all work from home now, which increases our chances and likelihood of being
right. You meet friends on like social media, but like you don't have anyone close to you, like
exactly
in person.
And it is great that.
And I wanted to go visit you guys this year, but then you fucked up your travel for Canadians.
We fucked up a lot of things. That was just one of them. Okay.
Well, that's the thing that affects me.
Can you like not fly in here now? Or
I mean, it's a travel warning because there are Canadians that are getting stopped, but that's primarily when they drive across. Your border patrols are setting up checkpoints and stopping cars and all that. And
you got to pretend to be American.
So wild.
Well, I passed the citizenship test, so I'm all in. There we go.
Tell them about the copay.
There we go.
Tell them.
I'm not Canadian. Across the border. I know what copay is.
I'm trying to pay my copay, all right? Oh, yeah, there you go.
If they ask you if the best cooking fuel is propane or charcoal, which one do you choose?
Weird. How much King of the Hill have you watched?
I'm going to assume it's propane.
Yes, you are American.
Propane accessories.
And propane accessories.
They're bringing back King of the Hill, eh?
They are. They are, I believe, because everything's coming back. Mm-hmm. We're in the age of everything coming back.
King of the Hill, Star Wars, fascism. I'm ready.
All of it.
Love Star Wars.
Wait till they're all going to roll it into one show. It's going to be fucking wild.
And it's going to have a guest doctor on it that's afraid to say penis.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know if that is better or Shaquille O'Seal, but both of them fucking kill. Both of them are fantastic ideas. If we don't make something off this, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Rob, do not release this episode until we've secured the copyrights
to Shaquille O'Seal and this doctor that we made up.
3 years from now, when we proceed to protect this idea, this is an episode we recorded in 2025 about the crack company that ended up failing and falling apart and claiming the lives of 2 of their 3 founders. Who might they be?
Oh, man.
So Men's Mental Health Month.
Men's Mental Health.
Men's Mental Health Month. There is help available everywhere you go. They've got 988. You call that one, and it's much easier to remember than the name of that song where the guy, remember, who can relate? That one. Oh, wait, hold on. Who can relate?
I don't know. I don't know if I know that.
It was like the Suicide Hotline song.
That would be an American thing.
Yeah, and the name of the song, it was meant to have people like remember what the suicide hotline number is, but like most people don't even know their mom's cell phone.
0118999 9119725
I
remember 877 cash now.
You're in a crisis, and that's the only thing you can remember. You're like, no, I don't want Empire carpet. Please, I'm having a crisis.
I think that was J.G. Wentworth. I'm pretty sure that was like people yelling on a bus, 877 cash now, because they just did it over and over. 877 cash now, over and over and over. I'm just trying to watch fucking, Price is Right here. Come on.
Watching Price is Right.
How do you dial 911 again? Oh, yeah, 877 cash now.
Cash now. 877 cash now. And people listening know. People are like, I remember that fucking commercial. They played it so much.
Do you know what your mommy and daddy's phone number is? We can get you home. 877 cash now.
I don't know. I might not know my mother's phone number, but I know the number to JG Wentworth.
They can get me there. They're on the phone trying to get money out of mommy all the time. It's Men's Mental Health Month.
But as Mike mentioned, there's numbers to call regardless of what country you're in. And heck, we might not be there in person, but you can always come hang out with us on live streams and stuff. I live stream over on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Sunday, and I'm trying to get Mike to start live streaming as well.
I need to.
Liam sometimes joins in and plays some repo.
I might be. Oakley is starting her daycare next week. So for 3 days a week, we're actually going to have help, which is going to be fucking extremely helpful because we've been kind of drowning in that.
Well, in honor of Men's Mental Health Month, I am formally announcing here, this is an In Moderation podcast exclusive, my return to regular streaming. I actually genuinely have had people asking me why I don't do it anymore. No, I'm not nearly in the mindset that I was in some of the stories that I told today. We all have rough moments, but not in the last several years have I, or 2 years now, have I even ever been close to feeling like that. And it's taken a lot of work. It's taken a lot of effort. Yeah. I've had to explore a lot of difficult topics, and I've had to make a lot of difficult decisions and moves and uproot my entire life and do things entirely different. It was very scary, but so was just facing down the barrel of I don't want to be here anymore every day. This is the longest stretch I've gone in a long time wanting to be here. That is possible for you. I feel
like Scotty says that a lot. Like lots of things are going to be difficult. Choose your difficult or something like. I'm not a good motivational speaker. Go listen to Scotty, but it's something like that.
Yeah, that's like I said, it's not the same as being in person, but we like to have a lot of fun on streams. So everyone's welcome to come just hang out and smile as we make fun of each other. And
because what are friends
to come play Repo. Mike absolutely hated Repo, so we're going to keep.
It was the only game I think I've ever returned. I'm like, I need to repo my money from this purchase because it was, I don't know, maybe I need to watch it again when I'm not in such a sour mood. But
we're not going to force you to play it, but we are going to keep.
I'll do it. I didn't give it enough of a chance. I've been a sour puss, as I said, and it's one of the reasons I've stayed kind of away from being on screen for more than a minute. Because I'm like, how much of the Mike the fun character can come out today, and not great at me. But also, I just want to mention before we go, Happy Pride Month as well, because two things can coexist. Yes. We're not ignoring one for the other. I wish that had been at the very beginning, because for whatever reason, there's contention, despite the fact that so many people that are in the LGBTQ community are struggling with mental health issues, many of whom are men or mask-presenting people.
Yeah, that's the whole idea that both things can't simultaneously exist is insane.
But there'd be a lot less mental health issues in the LGBTQ community if people would just stop fucking bullying them. So you can stop mental health from getting worse right from your home. Stop bullying people that are different from you.
Two things
don't be your
worst.
And two things can coexist, and two things can come together to become Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Amen.
Hey, wasn't that a great time listening to the podcast? I'm assuming you were just listening to In Moderation. So if you go ahead and hit the 5-star button, is that a thing? The like button?
That's a thing.
Yeah. The like button
5
on YouTube.
stars.
If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, not the dislike button. That's a bad button. The
bad
like
button.
Bad
Don't touch.
Hit all the other buttons. The share. You can go check out
all those things.
Subscribe. Go check out our Patreon. Yeah. We do have a Patreon. It's free to join if you want, or you could give us some money. That'd be really cool, like $1 or $2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have.
That's where you'll find all the news for this.
We're super appreciative. You can find all sorts of other stuff there. We do giveaways. I think sometimes.
Sometimes.
All that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, peace.